Stripe Shawl. Beautiful meat. I'm glad it's been there one.
It's going to be quite a full day today. I'm heading out later to meet a friend, but for now I'm starting gently easing into my usual morning routine. I'm really enjoying the quiet of these early hours as the first light of the day slowly fills the room. There is something about those soft early sun rays. I can feel them charging me both physically and mentally. And starting the day with those ordinary, familiar household chores helps set the tone, bringing a calm and steady start to my day. Welcome and welcome back. If this is your first time here, my name is Moran. I'm a maker and homebody from Israel. I share these daily life vlogs as a gentle space, a bit of peaceful escapism, both for myself and hopefully for you too. Today's sourdough is mostly made with rye flour and it doesn't really need much shaping. There is less stretch and the gluten structure is much denser, but still I like to give it a bit of attention before baking. And before baking, I usually pop it into the freezer for a few minutes, especially in hot summer days. And as I score the dough, I can really feel how dense and heavy it is. There's a weight to it and it feels different under the blade. I'm working on a new scarf pattern, a blend of both knitting and crochet once again. This is the second sample I've made while writing the pattern, and it's finally ready for blocking. It's a small, lightweight scarf starting with simple crochet stitches and finishing with a soft frilled knitted edge. I used Fior di Lino, which is a beautiful linen blend with a lovely drape by Mayak Fibers, and I used their silk yarn for the edging on this sample and added just a row or two of their organic cotton and yak blend just for a gentle little pop of color. I'm still working on the pattern, slowly refining the details as I go. This morning I actually managed to squeeze in a short workout before getting ready to go out and meet my friend. Lately, making time for movements really makes a difference for me, especially in this season of life. It helps me feel more balanced and clear, and it's been such a support for my not so great perimenopausal sleep. My friend and I both wanted to check out the summer t-shirts at COS, and I'd say we had a pretty successful visit. We each found a few lovely basics to take back home. Zara Home, on the other hand, was less exciting this time. We browsed for a bit but ended up leaving empty-handed. And after spending some time in the cool air-conditioned mall, we stepped back out into the humid Tel Aviv summer and took a slow walk through the streets to find a nice spot for lunch together. after a delicious lunch at one of Tel Aviv's most well-known, long-established restaurants, we ended the day with a visit to a Japanese shop that we both love, a quiet and beautiful space that feels more like a museum than a store. Every item is carefully chosen and there is kind of calm in the way everything displayed. It's the next day and our boys left very early this morning off to scout summer camp. The house felt especially quiet after they were gone, so I started the day with a deep cleanup in their rooms, and now I'm ready to dive into a full day of vlogging. There is quite a bit on my agenda for you today. First thing first, I'm starting with rendering a new batch of tallow. I've been meaning to do this for a while now because I really want to make a fresh batch of tallow balm. We love it and use it a lot here at home, so it's definitely time. I have some grass-fed fat that's been waiting in the freezer for quite a while, and I'm not exactly sure if it's 1 or 2 kilos, but that doesn't really matter. I'm placing it all in a heavy pot and putting it in the oven on a very low heat. My oven runs a bit hot, so I'm setting it to about 100 degrees Celsius and letting it slowly render for about 4 to 6 hours. So it's that simple, and while the tallow does its thing in the background, I will continue with my day. Let's do a quick unboxing now. It's a very classic YouTube vlogging kind of moment, so let's just enjoy together. I'll show you everything I brought back home with me yesterday. Let's start with this pile. At COS, I found 3 lovely t-shirts, which was actually the main reason I wanted to go there. I picked up 2 made from a slightly thicker fabric, but the cut sat really nicely on my body, which is always something I look for. I also got one in a lighter, more delicate fabric. I have a feeling it's going to be a well-loved piece around here. On the way to the cashier, I spotted a pair of trousers and we just had to try them on. We both ended up loving them so much that we each bought a pair. It was such a fun little shopping moment. At H&M, I picked up these basic cotton shorts, something comfy for home, but also good to wear on daily walks when it's just too hot for anything synthetic. And I'm hoping this white tee will replace the one I sleep in, which, as you can see, has definitely seen better days. And now let's move on to the most exciting part of the day. My friend is a very talented painter, and recently she started working with ceramics. She made me these 2 gorgeous pieces, and what can I say? They are definitely the most special things I brought back with me yesterday. Before I take you along to the next part of the day, I'm going to throw the light t-shirts along with the one I wore yesterday into a delicate cycle, so they will be ready to wear as soon as possible. Next on my list today is updating a few final details on my new Narration Shawl pattern before publishing. And actually, as I'm recording this voiceover, the pattern has just gone live. I shared it on Instagram and to let you all know about it. And now I'm sitting down to update the 20% launch offer on both Etsy and Ravelry. I'll share a bit more about this simple yet very elegant crochet pattern later on this vlog, but for now I hope you will pop over to Etsy or to Ravelry and grab yourself a copy of the pattern while the 20% launch offer is still available. It runs through July 21st, midnight Jerusalem time 2025. I will link the pattern on both Etsy and Ravelry in the description box down below this video. So now the special 20% offer is updated on both Etsy and now on Ravelry. And now I can take you along to the next exciting thing of the day. Next is something I've been procrastinating for way too long. I need to pack up the 2 workshops I had prepared for the retreat with my yak fibers, which because of the war I couldn't attend. It's time to wrap everything up and nicely, pack and put it away, and honestly, it's not an easy task for me. So to help soften this bitter pill, I'm going to do it while listening to Finnish Knitting Stories, a podcast here on YouTube that I truly love.
Granny Stripe Shawl. It's called Granny Stripe Shawl, and I've been thinking about something like this for quite a while. And I was so happy that somebody has already done all the math, figured out the construction, and I don't need to do it. So I happily has beautiful shaping. It's not just straight, it sits much better, I think, than the regular triangle. I prefer this to the triangle. Look, it's beautiful, not too long on the back. I think it's a beautiful shoulder shawl. But you can name it.
I really need to find the right words and honestly hold back a few tears of excitement. Jana from Finnish Knitting Stories started making my Granny Stripe Shawl pattern. She turned it into a memory shawl for a market where she was selling her beautiful hand-dyed yarn. She crocheted the most stunning version, truly gorgeous Granny Stripe Shawl, and shared the whole story with her followers on YouTube in her lovely podcast. As I was packing up my Unthought workshops, I listened to Jana, and the way she spoke about the pattern, the way she described her experience of making it, it brought tears of pure joy. It felt like I had lost something but gained something else on the other side of the story. So thank you, Jana. Thank you for featuring my Granny Stripe Shawl, for making such a gorgeous version of it, and for keeping me company while I'm packing the Unthought workshops. I just can't thank you enough. And also, thank you to those of you who left me a comment to let me know that my Granny Stripe Shawl was featured on the Finnish Knitting Stories podcast.
I think it's even drapier after I wash it very, very quickly. It's a summer shawl, but also, with a lot of warm memories and great moments. Like you can just look at it now. Okay, let's go to the next one because I don't have big one, and we have you see some I don't know leaves or something outside next to our fire pit. We have 2 long logs there that we sit on it, which is nicer. Actually, almost 3, maybe 3 on it. Yeah, and with it. But I don't. There is one at the countryside house, my husband's grandmother's, and I've been My kids move on. I turned my bedrooms into but imagine this platform. We have this so many you get to see me very happy about this rug.
After finishing packing up the workshops, I moved on to pack these giveaway sets, little gifts I had prepared especially for the retreat participants. I tried to pack them with care. I might end up using the chamomile and sage flower for something else, so I want to make sure they are wrapped carefully. The chamomile and sage is a pattern you can find in both my Etsy and Ravelry shops. I will link the pattern down below in the description box for you. It was also meant to be part of one of the workshops in the Dolomites.
Because it's been with joy, actually. Also me, a lot of joy. I'm thinking now making another knitting. The birds couldn't get to it. But they still, they did. Strawberries are delicious. Not too sweet this year, unfortunately, because I didn't have this. And I will show you my whips. I won't show you all my whips because that's what they were learning. They were a lot bigger. Ruffled edge, but we will see. We will see. I'm still working clothes. Now that sounds toxic. What's orange and white size by Andrea Maury? We have centimeters of the second sleeve, and I even
For the next segment of today's vlog, I need to get ready and put a bit of makeup on. I don't use much. I'm quite minimal when I come to makeup, but I do enjoy playing with the brushes and colors. Sometimes I get a little too carried away. Hopefully not today, because I don't want to look too made up. Alright, let's do a bit of embarrassing modeling in front of the camera while I share a few details about my newly released Narration Shawl pattern. It was just published as I'm recording this, but in case you're watching later or planning to make it, here are a few helpful details and a few poses of me wearing it and trying to model it, show it from all the angles and wearing options. This is the second design I created in collaboration with Mayak Fibers for the Creative Stitches retreat in Dolomites, and I'm so happy it's now available for everyone. It's a crochet pattern worked from the top down with raglan style shaping that lets it drape beautifully over the shoulders, almost like a cardigan. It's simple to make, yet rich in details, made mostly of basic double crochet stitches, rows back and forth, with just 3 bold rows of puff stitches in a contrast color. The shawl gradually forms a delicate frilled edge, adding lightness and movement, and finishes with slim front straps and single crochet frame for a polished wearable look. The pattern includes 2 length options, so you can choose what's best for you and for the yarn you're using. For this version, I used Fior di Lino, a beautiful wool and linen blend with an elegant drape that feels gorgeous against the skin. I used this yarn for the main color, and for the contrast color, I used Baby Yak Lace held double. And you can clearly see how soft and drapey this piece is. It's thanks to both the yarn and my naturally loose gauge. If your gauge is tighter, you might want to go with the extended length that's included in the pattern. And this beautiful sample was made by one of my lovely local testers, who is also one of the Mdays makers. She used a fingering weight hand-dyed sock wool for the main color and silk mohair yarn held double for the contrast puff stitch rows. And this beautiful version of the Narration Shawl is actually the reason we have 2 length options within the pattern. Because this yarn is slightly finer than Fior di Lino's, so as she worked on her sample, we both felt this yarn needed a few extra rows with increases to maintain the shape and flow. You can see here that this version has a bit more volume of that frilled edging. So depending on the yarn you use, you might prefer to follow the longer version, but it's really easy to decide as you go, just by checking the fit as you work and see what suits you best. I think I got quite a bit done today, and now it's time to sit down and enjoy a quiet, slow lunch. I really hope you will enjoy the 20% off on my new Narration Shawl pattern. The special offer is already live in both Etsy and Ravelry. No code needed, and it will be available until July 21st, midnight Jerusalem time 2025. I will leave links for the pattern down below in the description box for you. I truly can't wait to see your versions of the Narration Shawl. I'm sure you will come up with your own beautiful interpretations. You can find the yarn kits with a few color options at the Mayak Fibers online store, but please feel free to explore and use any yarn you love. All yardage and quantities are listed in both Etsy and Ravelry, so you can plan your project with ease. The Narration Shawl is part of my storytelling journey here on YouTube, and thank you for being part of this special journey. And now it's time to take care of this fresh golden batch of tallow. It's a bit of a messy job, so come along as I do my best to keep the mess under control.